Were you trying to continue the traditions started by Bruce Lee?
你係咪想延續李小龍初開始嗰個傳統咧？即係你拍電影嗰陣時，你係咪諗住延續李小龍嗰陣時拍電影嗰個傳統？
係啊，因為點解咧？李小龍咧係我個 master 嚟嘅，即係我師傅黃順良教授。
Because my master Wang Chunlang is a disciple of Yip Man, who of course was Bruce Lee's master.
因為我入咗行之後啦，咁我就對呢個李小龍，我 master 同我講咗好多佢 story，咁啊，我想即係有啲電影咧，佢未拍到嘅，我就想完成佢。
So once I started making movies, my master told me a lot about Bruce Lee and what he wanted to achieve that he couldn't achieve because of his untimely death. So that's why I was trying to continue what Bruce Lee couldn't do. I'm trying to do, kind of continue to do what Bruce Lee would have done if he's still alive.
好似佢講嗰個死亡遊戲咁講，我就拍《Game of Death》。
Just like Game of Death, Bruce Lee has his own Game of Death, but when I entered the Game of Death, Game of Death hasn't come out yet, but that's what I wanted to do to finish. So finish the film for Bruce Lee by making Enter the Game of Death.
咁啊，李小龍咧，佢一路想拍佢嗰個咩咧 Bruce Finger 啦，咁啊，精武字係佢一個秘笈嚟嘅。咁我一路未完成，咁我就知道咗佢想練呢種武術，所以我就喺電影入邊咧就俾佢出。
One style kung fu that I knew that Bruce Lee wanted to film was the Jing Wu finger, basically a style kung fu using fingers. But of course, he couldn't finish it. He didn't get to do it. So that's why when I want to make a film, I want to do, I want to continue. I want to show Bruce Lee's kung fu, that secret kung fu, by making Bruce fingers.
因為李小龍翻到香港之後啦，佢揾咗我 master， 成日喺度研究嗰啲功夫嘅。
Because when Bruce Lee went back to Hong Kong to make, Big Boss and Fist of Fury, he would often talk to my master and told him what he wanted to do, what kind of style kung fu he's like practicing or developing.
咁啊，所以咧佢就將嗰個點樣去練呢個 Bruce Finger 嗰個 machine 啦，就留低咗俾我師傅，我師傅就教咗俾我。
So Bruce Lee left behind the machine that he used to kind of develop the finger style kung fu, and then my master gave it to me.
好多人咧就以為嗰個 machine 咧係練嗰個肌肉而已，其實就唔係啊，佢係點樣鍛鍊佢嗰種速度。
So maybe you thought the machine was strictly used to kind of fine tune your muscles, but it's actually not. It's really the main purpose of the machine is to increase your speed of attack.
咁啊，所以 Van Damme 啦，即係上個 Van Damme 啦，好多次翻香港拍功夫片嘅時候啦，動作片嘅時候啦，佢就同阿高魯音借呢個機，不過高魯音就冇，就成日同我借俾佢。
So when Jean-Claude Van Damme went to Hong Kong, he would ask Bolo to ask me to borrow the machine and to use it.
我講過俾佢聽呢個 machine 點樣練，因為佢唔知有時佢練唔到嗰個方式。
And I told him how to use the machine, but he didn't really know how to use it.
因為嗰個 machine 咧就係點樣咧？佢係一個速度，練嗰個手嘅速度。
Because that machine, main purpose again is to enhance the speed of your hand movements.
即係唔係好似而家電影睇嗰度，佢話喺度電，唔係 no，that's different，即係佢擺嗰個機嗰個擺兩個，一定擺嗰個。咁啊，when 佢 open 佢開個 machine 嘅時候，嗰個機咧就要好近，跟住就翻嚟啦。翻嚟咁你喺呢個時間你就打出去，一打出去啦佢又翻嚟啦，你又打出去啦，佢又翻嚟啦。咁做多好多次之後啦，嗰個 punch 就好快㗎啦。咁啊，當你應該呢個咪算咗啦，嗰個機就練嗰個速度同埋嗰個 finger。
Many people thought, they thought that the machine needs to kind of, increase your muscle power, because you have these electron pads that you put here. But when in fact it's actually trying to increase your speed. So once you put those pads on, the electric currents will pull your arm back, and then you would, and then you continue to do this. But then, so once you got used to it, you take off the electric, pads, then your arm will move much faster, and also your strength will be much, stronger.
嗰時佢想練一種叫 Bruce Finger 嗰個精武字，因為佢嘅手指去詠春個手指啦。Can I show you?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
He was practicing Wing Chun. Wing Chun Kung Fu, but then he wanted to develop his finger Kung Fu. Mike.
happy? 動作啦，佢點樣練佢嗰個手啊？因為佢詠春啦，佢好簡單，佢唔係話佢黐身嘅。
Wing Chun is a very simple style of Kung Fu. Is basically sticking to your arms and hands. So my hand would go over, right? So when I put my arm over him, it has to be very strong so that I can actually, go through his barrier and attack his neck and face. So this is like how close you have to be to hit your opponent. And then I'll use my core, from the strength from the waist to, really hit him in the body. So in Bruce's fingers, the hands like an eagle's claw. So when Bruce Lee was doing push-up, he would do a push-up using, with the fingers. So it's like an eagle catching a chick. It has to catch the chick at very quick speed. Yeah, so the left arm would block his arm, block his strength, and the right arm would hit his face, and then press his eyes and gouge his eyes out.
Jesus.
That's it. And just like practicing nunchucks.
Oh, shit.
It's not just about swinging the stick, it's about speed. It's about how fast you can hit your opponent with speed. It's not a demonstration tool. You're looking at your opponent to see where he is at the position, and then once you determine where to hit it, you hit it with the nunchucks.
Woo!
Michael, can I ask you, seeing as your life was kind of changed by seeing your first Bruceploitation movie, which starred Bruce Lee, did you ever expect to be being hit by Bruce Lee several times in 1 week?
I can't tell you how many times he hits me in the exact same spot. So if I die in the next couple of weeks, you're gonna know who did it.
You're a really good fighter.
I was until I did this tour, but no. I've been watching the fourth kung fu movie I ever saw was Bruce's Fingers of all things. So it's only, I guess, karma. I saw it when I was a little kid, and I've been in love with these movies ever since. And I've been fascinated just in how there've been this. It's a section of cinema that has been so sort of tucked away into pushed behind, mainly because it's polarizing. There's a lot of people that love Bruce Lee that just get into these films for how I get into them, which is these conjectures and these sort of visions of what maybe Bruce Lee might have done, and people paying tribute to him, etc. But then there's also the people that love Bruce Lee and look at these as an insult or some sort of a disrespect thing, which I don't grasp at all. They actually are what got me to be a martial artist as a kid. It's what kept me making. It's actually, I started learning filmmaking. I've been directing and producing and acting in films for 30 years myself now, and it's a lot of it just started from those movies. So this has been this is the last of our tour altogether, and it's just been absolutely one of my favorite moments in my life. So it's been great.
What about you, Frank?
Well, this was quite a journey, right? I mean, we started back in November of 2016, and never would have thought that this film would take almost close to 7 years to finish. So it's been quite a journey for myself too. We set out to get off the 4 major clones, and Bruce Lee was the one that kind of held out the longest. We kept trying to, have him, to be interviewed by us. He never turned us down. He just kept saying, now is not the time. So we were waiting, and then we would just follow up with him every few months, and then a few months became years, and then until last year, then when he finally said yes, I kind of like got emotional and I almost cried because it's almost like a personal quest. It's like, we were able to get 3 out of the 4 clones, like how come it was so hard to get, Bruce Lee here? But then, of course, the one that held out the longest turns out to be the most enthusiastic support of our project. So this was, again, something unexpected. And it's just been great to just, being with him, this, tour, talking to him, learning about his philosophy, learning about his art, his filmmaking. So this is, this whole project has been quite a journey for me, as both personally as well as professionally.
You moved away and started doing the films, as it says in the documentary, more kind of James Bond and action type films. Tell us about Challenge the Tiger, where you actually, fighting people wasn't good enough for you. You had to fight a bull.
即係你後尾轉型啦，又拍模仿李小龍去到拍第啲戲，好似 Challenge the Tiger 咁樣。咁即係就好似打人已經唔夠，要打動物啊！可唔可以講講點解你會轉變咁樣？
因為功夫片嚟講啦，即係俾咗好多觀眾，即係開心嘅一個電影嚟嘅，因為佢哋就睇緊啦，係我哋中國功夫嘅動作。
Kung Fu films, and I realize that Kung Fu films is a very joyful experience to many people because we were able to demonstrate, Chinese Kung Fu with these films.
好似中國功夫嚟講啦，包括咗而家功夫 Panda 入邊啦，就龍蛇虎豹。
And like even in Kung Fu Panda, you see that they showcase the 5 animal styles of Kung Fu, dragon, snake, tiger, leopard, and crane.
因為喺我嘅印象中啦，即係點樣咧？我哋以前啲少林功夫啦，係將啲動物嘅動作嚟模仿個動作，嚟表現咗自己嘅功夫出嚟，好似老虎形啊、虎形啊、即係嗰啲動物嘅動作嚟表現。
My impression was like Shaolin Kung Fu would actually imitate the movement of these 5 animals, and through Kung Fu, their movement will be, you can see the animal movement through the use of Kung Fu. 嗰個王正利咧就係拍嗰個 Jackie Chan 嗰個 Snake in the Acacia and Drunken Master the Big Villains。咁我覺得佢打得幾好，咁我想同佢 challenge， 好似 check out 同埋你先 challenge， 我想而家最好打個王正利。 So when I decided to start kind of move myself away from imitating Bruce Lee, I went to Rome. Shot a film there, and then of course set it in the Coliseum, and I fought Huang Zhengli because I was very impressed by Huang Zhengli's villainous roles in both Snake in the Eagle Shadow and Drunken Master. And so I felt, well, if I want to fight a villain, I'll have to fight the best one, which is why I invited Huang Zhengli to fight me at the Coliseum. Because Huang Zhengli has an 8th ranking in Taekwondo, so he's supposed to be like one of the best or strongest Taekwondo fighters. So if I was able to defeat Huang Zhengli at the Coliseum, it's almost just like Bruce Lee defeating Chuck Norris at the Coliseum in Way of the Dragon.
嗰個電影好睇啦，因為個細個咧就好中意睇個 James Bond 同個高飛嘅 Hello Sakata， 咁我又邀請佢拍我哋片做個訪問。
And I'm also a James Bond fan, so I saw Goldfinger, I saw Harold Sakata as a hop job, and so I liked him a lot, so I also invited Harold Sakata to be in my film.
咁喺入邊咧，我用咗好多，因為以前拍戲咧就冇而家好嗰啲 animation 啊、替身啊嗰啲冇。
Because back then, the animation is kind of rough, and also we really don't have a lot of usage for stunt doubles. We hardly use stunt doubles in our fight scenes.
咁我咧就喺一個動作入邊咧，好似一個人啊個手斷咗個骨，咁你去咗醫院先可以知道佢斷咗。咁我而家喺個電影入邊啦，你睇到我點樣打斷嗰隻腳，點樣插咗攞到骨出。
I mean, in real life, if you break somebody's arms or legs, you wouldn't really know whether you've actually broken their arms or legs until you go to the hospital and do the X-ray. But that's why in my film I use animation to show when I hit Huang Zhengli in the rib cage, you can see that I actually broke his rib cage.
You can see in the movie immediately. You can see that broken, that's broken. 即係呢個我嘅 some idea not my idea.
It's ideal.
And then I go to Spain to shoot another movie with Richard Harrison. And I fight with the bull, you know. Otherwise, no,
All with a bow.
yeah, the bull is very dangerous, you know. But I like to do it, you know. 我想拍一種電影，所以我就嗰日特登切咗條紅色嘅 T-shirt，即係就同隻牛扒。
But I wanted to do a fight scene with a bull, and so the day of the shooting, I actually wore like a red shirt to go to the ring to fight the bull.
因為隻牛啦已經佢好瘋狂噶啦，如果我再着住黑紅衫嘅話，咁啊打得更加刺激。
The bull is already aggressive enough, so by having me wearing this red shirt, it actually makes him even more exciting and more, aroused, so to speak. So the fight will become even more exciting.
不過為咗好睇，為咗好睇，
It's all for the good visuals.
咁啊我會拍啲好特別嘅出嚟。
So for good visuals, I'm willing to shoot something special
最主要觀眾睇得好睇。
or something that other people haven't done before, as long as you guys like it.
呀，咁啊Richard Harrison 啦，同埋嗰啲 producer，they told me very dangerous，you will die，係咪想死啊 ？It's very dangerous。
But while you were in Spain, you also ended up in a very unique cameo in Pieces. Tell us about that.
你嗰陣時喺西班牙拍戲，你都有客串一場戲喺 Pieces 嗰度，可唔可以講講？
And that time because you know, always I want to find something new for the movie, you know. And the one I want to shoot with Postman. Postman, he's like a Midnight Express.
Paul Smith from Midnight Express.
I saw him. I like him very much. I went for fight with him, you know. So and then I was in Spanish. I trained every day in Spanish. The producer said, "Okay, Bruce, can you have time to shoot one shot in my movie?" I said, "What kind of movie?" He said, "The horror movie Pieces." So okay, I do it.
Okay, and another movie you made was called Bruce versus Bill.
Yeah.
Okay, and we have a special guest here today with us, which is Bill Louis, who is the Bill of Bruce versus Bill. Would you like to come and join us?
Hello. You remember me? 25 years already. Oh. Thank you very much. Okay. We made a movie together in Taiwan before. You know, somebody told me.
Good thing it was a movie, otherwise he would have killed me.
He's good fighter. You know, I know somebody told me because one of the guy from America, you know, and name is Bruce Bill, he want to make a movie with me, you know. He's a good fighter. He's a karate. He played karate, you know. Yeah. So we try together. You know, we are in Taiwan. We make a Bruce Bill together. You know. Good fighter.
What do you remember?
What you remember?
I remember we didn't use stuntmen. And for the first time, they put me under a train, locomotive. I don't know if you saw the movie, but I was worried that some rocks would kick up or the bars would fall off. And we were underneath there for real. Remember that? And we were also up on top of
Train.
a tram. And we jumped down.
Yeah.
And we jumped down on cardboard boxes. We had no stuntmen, no nets.
Thank you.
I didn't believe it would work, but it did. We're here. Thank God.
You know, because the train, you know, we can control the train is moving, you know. I think we put many boxes here already. Because the train is moving, you know, here. When you jump, I say jump. Pause here. When we jump, we order forehand and we float down. 即係呢度最尾嗰一格，我遲咗啦會死嘅，
So yeah, we have to fall at the very last train, otherwise we would have died.
所以我哋兩個打咗砰就跳落去啦。
So right after we fall, we both jumped
不過我
off the
哋估
train.
唔到個 train 啦，會將我哋帶走咗，即係嗰個力度啊！你即係咁樣跳，咚跳啦，咁就嗰個人啊就俾佢帶走咗之後，唰
But we didn't realize I guess the force of the train would actually pull us back. So when we jumped, the
即係
train actually pulled us backwards.
我咧就佢啊第一次拍戲，
That was Bill's first time making the movie.
我就要個 challenge 一定要咁樣做，因為如果 good fighter，you know。
And I challenged him to do that.
所以我有好多時間我會做俾佢睇，即係等佢哋會做得更加好睇。
I would show him what I wanted from them so that they the end result would be better than they anticipated.
The same I made a movie in my movie superhero in Philippines, you know, Bolo Young. He made Enter the Dragon. And I want him to fight with a bull. 我想咬他。I see this bull is crazy, you know. I asked the doctor to come, okay, injection. 即係等佢瞓覺。
Tranquilize the bull.
Yeah, the doctor injection already over 即係10支啦。
So he put like 10 tranquilizers into the bull.
After half hour, the bull was running, very happy.
The bull is still like very energetic after 10 shots.
You sure it wasn't rum?
What's the happen? Is it? I don't know. 俾個人去 injection 啊，一針啦，少少地就瞓咗覺。我一打咗10支都唔瞓。
You tranquilize a person with just one shot, he'll be knocked out. But with a bull, even 10 shots wasn't enough.
I spoke to Polo. Can you do it? Don't cost too much, okay? Because the boss were here. Polo said no. I said move. Oh, after that, we don't have much money, you know, small budget. The budget not big. We lost my time. You know, I said okay, let the soldier come. Tom, kill it. After 2 punches, the ball is a little cooling down already. I spoke to Polo, you don't worry about it because the ball is too heavy, you know. When it falls down, he can't stand up. 佢唔可以起身㗎。咁啊，Polo and then he's moving, you know. After he killed. 所以拍電影就咁樣。
That's what movie making is all about.
You want to do again?
We use stuntmen next time.
Your son can do it. Yeah. You do it.
Yeah, we could talk about a sequel.
我都識嘅，因為而家好多觀眾啦，好開心，因為見到今日係呢個最後一集
I'm very happy today because this is obviously the last stop of our trip.
喺美國，咁啊一路嚟啦，過嚟啦，我睇到，因為我係一個去過好多國家拍戲。
Throughout this trip, we went to different cities and
1970即係70年代啦，我同佢哋拍咧就台灣、Korea、Japan、Philippines、Israel。
I've been to many countries back in the 70s, Taiwan, Japan, Korea.
80年代啦，我就開始去英國、Spain、France。
And I went, started going to Europe in the 80s, France, Spain.
And I go to Africa. I want to fight with the panda. After 1999, I go back to China because I really need to find good location in China. They have a great wall. We fight in the great wall. Again, this is my challenge, you know. Also public.
I like to make movies like that and challenge myself.
But the ninja Japanese samurai, he said, because I want to fight your Chinese guy in the Great Wall. I kill you in the Great Wall. So my title name, which is Ninja Over the Great Wall.
So, I want to kill a Japanese guy on the Great Wall, so that's why I changed my title to Ninja Over the Great Wall.
And then, Beijing Studio, because he made a movie with The Last Emperor.
And then the same Beijing studio that also helped Bertolucci make The Last Emperor.
咁佢睇到我嘅片之後咧，佢好想同我合作，同呢個 crew。
And he saw my film and really wanted to work with me, so that's why we kind of started this little film group.
咁啊，我哋 started make another movie, you know, Golden Triangle 嗰個片，Let's go.
Also, like also make movies like Golden Triangle.
呢幾年啦，我喺中國啦拍咗好多戲。
I make actually quite a lot of movies, these past few years in China.
咁啊，好多人咧就揾我啦，就 Why you better to make a kung fu movie again？
And many people ask me why are you making these movies, Bruce? You should be making kung fu films again.
Because why？我唔想求其去拍嘅戲，因為點解咧？如果拍得比唔上我以前嘅電影嘅話，我寧願就唔拍。
I just don't want to make it for making it, because if the end result is not as good as the kung fu film or the martial art film I made before, then why bother making it?
即係全世界好多人揾我，都想去拍啲嘢有關李小龍在功夫嘅，我都唔會見。
So that's why, even though many people around the world came to me and asked me to make films again about Bruce Lee, I would rather not make it.
But in China, I have my own company. I make a big movie. I say no.
So he has his own company in China.
7 years after 咁啊電影，佢哋揾我係嘛？如果俾佢嗰個紀錄。
So, a few years after, I guess 6 years ago, David and Michael and Frank approached me and said they want to make a documentary about Bruce Plantation.
I said no. Last year, he told me again, because my documentary already finished. Please, you give me a chance, we can do it. So I think this is the good time. 時間到啦
Now's the time.
because this is the good time. So last year we shot his documentary. And I saw the film, it's okay, very good, So give me good memory, 即係俾我一個想法。所以我今日先嚟到美國，40日我第一次再翻返嚟美國。
And because I finally participated in, our documentary here, it gave me good feelings. And now, of course, 40 years after, 40 yeyears later, I'm now back in America.
因為呢20年咧，我喺中國啦，一路拍緊嗰啲大片，啲大片。
I've been making movies on the epic kind of epic version in China in the past decade or so.
咁啊，中國以前咧就 no market 冇 market 嘅，係嘛？好似嗰個史泰龍嗰套片啊，The First Blood he sold it to China，賣俾中國。
So when before like a lot of films have no market in China, like First Blood, Stallone's First Blood was actually sold to China for a very low money, low price.
They say they sell it to China, the market only 10,000 US dollars.
That was the fee, to sell to China just for 10,000 US.
Hong Kong is very small. We can sell it 1 million. Why? Well, I say it's okay. If the China government don't buy, nobody buy it. Only we can buy it. After that, this 20 years, the market's open. So China is very big market now. I have a good connection in China. Many people shouting temples, anything, I got it. I have it. But we need American production. 即係嗰啲後期製作，啲高嘅科技，咁我哋合作嘅時候啊，可以拍到好。
I think we need good technology, like good American post-production technology. So I believe, combining with the Chinese martial arts and American post-production technology, I think we'll be able to make a very good kung fu film again.
所以我今次翻嚟啦就好開心，即係點解咧？我想重新可以帶動呢個功夫片。
So I'm very happy to be back in America again, because I wanted to kind of push this wave of the love for martial arts cinema again.
好似今日我睇到嘅戲院出邊嗰個血滴子嗰個。
Like the flying guillotine bar that I just saw when I came into the theater.
嗰個男主角啦，就叫陳冠泰。
And Guan Tai, of course, was the lead in the Shaw Brothers film Flying Guillotine.
Many actors in Hong Kong, they call me all the time. They say, Bruce, we need to make some kung fu movie again. They want it. I said, we got to find a chance. 即係我哋揾個機會，有個時間。所以呢個時間我覺得就好重要。
We need both a chance and a good timing to make another kung fu film.
因為有你哋嘅支持，
And I think this is a good timing because of the support.
有心機拍啲更好嘅電影。
Because of the support, we'll be able to be more determined in making a better film for you. Okay,
中
on
國而
that,
家好多 good fighter。
on that note, we should probably head to the flying guillotine because there seems to be some confusion about how this is going to go down, so it should be quite interesting. But we're going to go and do the cement. But I want everybody, and I want to thank personally Mr. Bruce Lay for joining us here, and everybody if we can give him applause. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
And we'll just take a photo in front of the audience as well, please.
几趴 selfie。We're actually doing it here.